Week 10, baby. Let's go get them. We got a good week of football this week. I'm talking about Big 10, Big 12, SEC. Might as well be almost like a SEC championship game with in the East and the West almost. I mean, you got Georgia, Kentucky in the East, and then you got Alabama and LSU 1 and 3 in the West. Come on now, you can't ask for a better week of college football this week, and that's why I'm gonna go big this week because I got to catch up. Last week wasn't good. You're talking about 4, 5, and 1 last week. Yeah, not good, not good. That's keeping the record at 41, 35, and 2 for the season. Not too great. We won't catch up here. We got 13 games that I feel real good about. So I'm going to just start running it off. Of course, I got our Go Get 'em game. Like always, I'm going to have one of them for you. But I'm going to start it off. I'm going to run them out there because I like all these picks this week. There's no top 5. I like them all. It was hard for me to narrow it down to 10 because that's how many of these games I like. So here we go. Game 1. We're doing Oklahoma State minus 6.5 at Baylor. So Oak State going to Baylor. Oak State's been playing pretty well. I know you saw the Texas game last week. Uh-oh. What? The Cowboys beating the Longhorns like that? Ooh, it was a good one. But Oklahoma State pulled that one out. Oklahoma State's going to keep rolling. They got that offense moving. They got we got Louisville plus 38.5 at Clemson. I like Louisville plus 38.5. I think Clemson, they're starting to roll over teams a lot. Looked at Florida State last week. It was pretty ugly. No one thought it would be that bad. I think Clemson's going to end up playing a lot of younger dudes. They're going to try to get some guys playing, start using that redshirt rule for some of the guys who haven't played. That 4 games that they can play. So I think they'll start playing some freshmen in this Louisville game. I don't think they're going to run through them like that. I see Louisville because Louisville can score. They put up a lot of points against Wake Forest last week. So Louisville plus 38.5 is a great pick. I like Memphis minus 11.5 at East Carolina. ECU is terrible. They're a bad team. They're very bad in the American Conference this year. Memphis offense can get it rolling on the ground or in the air. Love that spread offense they run. They gave UCF a problem a few weeks back. I like Syracuse minus 5.5 at Wake Forest. Syracuse balled out last week at home against NC State. Played very well. Good bounce back game for them. Wake Forest, they're starting to fall off a little bit. They did win last week against Louisville, but Louisville's a bad team. But Wake Forest is not going to be able to compete that well against Syracuse, not the way they're playing. So definitely take Syracuse minus 5 in that game. Like Georgia Tech minus 4.5, the old triple option. Hit them with it against North Carolina at North Carolina. Georgia Tech's been running through teams. They worked over Virginia Tech last week in a short week. So with a long week going to North Carolina, I see Georgia Tech tearing them up. Nobody in the ACC really is being able to really keep hold of that Georgia Tech triple option this year. It's been a problem for a lot of teams. So I like Georgia Tech minus 4.5. Georgia Southern, another triple option, minus 7 at ULM. They play University of Louisiana Monroe this week. ULM's been playing whatever in the Sun Belt. Georgia Southern's dominating. They beat App State last week. They've been balling out. App State was ranked last week, but Georgia Southern said not for long, and Georgia Southern pulled them off that ranking last week. They're 7-1. I say Georgia Southern runs through ULM minus 7. Take Georgia Southern. Florida State at NC State. NC State favored minus 9.5. I'm going with it all day. NC State's going to bounce back this week. They're at home. Florida State is just very, very bad. Willie Taggart, I pray for him. I hope the brother can keep his job because the good old boys might run him out of there pretty soon. I know he's probably going to be there next year, but he's got to make a turnaround at Florida State and help them return back to greatness, but it's not going to be tomorrow or this Saturday. We got Georgia, minus 8 at Kentucky. I'll take the Bulldogs all day. They rambled through Florida yesterday. played them extremely well. Got it going late in the game. Second half blew them up. First half it was a really good game, but Georgia started, really showing their true colors and came back and really, fought that one out. Kentucky struggled against Mizzou. They pulled it out. They're actually the underdog, but I take Georgia -8 against Kentucky. I think Kentucky's starting to get to the point where the year is starting to run them down a little bit. And the SEC, if you don't have the depth, and you don't have those guys that can really show up late in the year, it's going to be rough for you. I like Georgia -8, especially after a game like last week. Penn State at Michigan. Michigan favored -12 at the Big House. Penn State thing is that Michigan's a tough matchup. Because Michigan's defense is probably number one defense in college football, by far. I've watched them probably the last 3 weeks. I haven't seen a defense play that well in I don't know how long. Great defense. And that defense travels. They're going to be at home, so it'll be even better. Penn State defense is okay. Not good enough to hold Michigan out of the end zone, that's for sure. And Penn State's offense, I think they're going to struggle a lot. I don't think it's going to be a blowout game for them. So I definitely take Michigan -12 in that game. Houston -14 at SMU. That's a good little, Texas matchup in the American. SMU's playing bad, but SMU always gives teams a good game. But I think Houston, I think those boys are going to blow them out. That offense is high-powered. If you watched that USF Houston game last week, ooh, man, the Houston boys can put some points up. And they can play a little bit of defense from time to time. So take Houston -14. We got Louisiana Tech at Mississippi State. Mississippi State struggled against that LSU defense. Really played bad last week. They're favored by 23.5 at home against La Tech. I like it. I think Mississippi State's offense is going to bounce back. I think those boys are going to use this game as a good little tune-up game and to get the offense rolling again before some more SEC play to finish off the year. So I'll definitely take Mississippi State -23.5 in that game. And we got BYU at Boise State. Oh, dang. Okay. No, not okay. Boise State, the Broncos are going to run them over. BYU's offense has struggled, and that's an understatement, to be honest. The defense is just playing okay. They usually play Boise pretty good, but I think Boise's offense is a little bit too much for them. Ripien, the quarterback for Boise State, very solid kid. He can make all the throws, and he's going to make all the throws on Saturday. So I'll take Boise State -13.5 right there. And for what you're all been waiting for your go get 'em! Pick of the week, which is the best game all year. Might as well be a national championship type game. You got Alabama traveling to LSU. Alabama favored by -14. Man, who should I pick? I had no idea. But the way Alabama is playing football on the offensive side and the defensive side, it's almost like they could play the day after tomorrow on Sunday against the Browns or the Raiders. Yeah, I'm a Raider fan and I'm saying this. And probably beat those boys. It's getting crazy. They're putting up points all day long. Tua's going off. Receiving corps killing it. The defense, they could pick up a kid off the street, put him at linebacker, and they'll probably still get a 3-and-out. It's crazy, man. Alabama is like clockwork. Even though they are going to Death Valley and playing the Tigers, it's going to be a national championship type game. But the thing is, LSU, they don't really play that type of style. And they're not in that national championship type of game anymore over the last few years. Alabama, it's all the time. Taking Alabama, go Tide, have fun watching these games. I can't wait for tomorrow. I'm going to love it. Go have some fun. Make $1 on a game. Go get 'em!